Hello and welcome back for more PokeMMO. Today, I am going back to training for Flannery. I already cleared all her gym trainers, so it shouldn't be too long before I can actually battle her. I did need to give myself a little bit of a refresher on Flannery's team because it's been a while since I initially planned for the fight, but I do think I know what I'm doing. Welcome, Cider Man. You just got home. Good timing then, I guess. Honestly feeling really tired despite getting a good night of sleep, but it has something to do with the fact that I tried taking a sleeping pill. Need to accept the opposite of a good night of sleep. Yeah. It's definitely hard to sleep well, especially when it's summer. I'm guessing it's also summer for you right now. Your cat woke you up 4 times. I hear cats do that, but I can't say I've ever experienced it myself. Was it just running around being noisy or actively trying to wake you up? Only got about 5 hours. Yeah, that's not fun. Yelling in the hallway? Just trying to get you up or trying to get food or something? Oh yeah, do you ever try sleeping with earplugs in? Yeah, at least they don't block out noise completely, but they definitely help. Only wants fresh water, so she drinks straight from the tap. That's kind of spoiled, it sounds like. If you can get a some kind of cold water dispenser or something, maybe that could help. I'm not sure whether the water being fresh has to do with temperature. The entire family enables it. That's unfortunate. One time when I was living with my parents and they had house guests who had a dog. This dog would often beg for food and, you know, people would feed the dog to encourage the behavior. Not just the dog's owners, but my family as well. animals are good at manipulation, true. Being cute definitely gives them an edge. I think that also might be how humans get spoiled as well. Their parents just can't help but give in. Of course, it's not always bad to, you know, give animals and children what they want sometimes, but doing it constantly can cause issues down the line. Always seems to come back to moderation, doesn't it? Have we found a shiny in PokeMMO? I have not. Despite having hundreds of hours in it, I have not found a single one. I have not bothered hunting for them or anything, but you'd think if I have been playing for this long, it would just happen eventually. Of course, the shiny odds in this game are 1 in 30,000, I believe. Last I checked. That might have changed. All I do is fight Whismur. I'm shiny hunting unofficially. Well, that's not my intention. If I really wanted to shiny hunt, there are definitely more efficient ways of doing it, like with hordes and whatnot. Though I have farmed experience on hordes before. One thing I noticed in PokeMMO, I think it was when I tried to get my Fiery Path encounter, I tried using Sweet Scent for a horde to manipulate encounter odds, but it didn't work. So I don't think it works in caves in this game. But it'd be nice if there were easy ways to access this information, but a lot of the time when I try looking for information on PokeMMO, I just can't find it. But I'd imagine that specific information would be somewhat accessible, since some of the most accessible information in this game is just farming and shiny hunting related, and since it has to do with shiny hunting, it should be fairly easy. It's the normal playthrough stuff that seems to get neglected, because for whatever reason it seems like MMO players don't really like playing through their game for some reason. And this isn't really a PokeMMO specific thing. They just like speedrunning to post-game content and then doing whatever with that. From what I've heard from PokeMMO players, most of the information on this game is going to be on YouTube and in the forums. Because the website has its own forums. It's normal for Pokemon fans speedrunning the story and then doing all the endgame content. I mean, maybe. A lot of Pokemon fans just like... well, challenge runs. The game has kind of a large Nuzlocking community and whatnot, but... there are definitely others who do shiny hunting and PvP and stuff and just breeze through the story to get there. I'm talking about, again, not just MMOs, but... or not just PokeMMO, but other MMOs or MMO-like games in general. Like, Path of Exile players, in my experience, hate playing Path of Exile. And I don't know why. A lot of, Wizard 101 players will just speedrun through the game so that they can stand around in the commons talking smack for whatever reason. And they go on Reddit and talk about how the story isn't that bad and you're overreacting. And I don't think the story is that bad, but if you want a game for its story, the mainline Pokemon games are not what you should be playing for that. You didn't enjoy PoE's gameplay, and I have mixed feelings about it personally. But again, I think the biggest turnoff for me was trying to play with other people who played it and just having a bad time because they didn't actually want to. What does that mean? I'm not exactly sure which thing I said you're referring to. Especially since I kind of stumbled on my words a bit. But, I do at least think the mystery dungeon games have good story. Especially Explorers of Sky. But I mean, the best story games I've played are very different from Pokemon. Playing with people in PoE that didn't want to. Basically, they just didn't enjoy playing through the game, constantly rushing me to get a move on and stuff. Mystery Dungeon is the exception, not the rule. Oh yeah, the mainline games don't have great stories, but I wouldn't call them bad necessarily. You know, someone like that, but it's League of Legends instead of PoE. That is a very different game that you can't really speedrun, I don't think. But if you're talking about League of Legends players who get mad at you for not playing well, are using the wrong build or whatever. That's very frustrating. Especially when it's with someone who is still trying to learn the game. I don't know why it's so hard for people to just not be toxic. Maybe lazy or inept. I mean, I wouldn't call it that. And you could make an argument for being lazy. I don't think Aerial Ace is a good option. And I will delay the evolution one more level. The effort put into the games is obviously not focused on the story. But I don't think that necessarily makes the story itself bad. I think it's when the story is actively does something to ruin itself that makes a bad story. Oh, welcome, Garrett, I think is how that's supposed to be pronounced. He posts screenshots of his moments on Facebook, and it was heinous what he said. And that's really sad. The number of League players who just ruin the game for other people by being complete a-holes is tragic. I used to report people all the time, and nothing ever happened. So Riot was definitely very lenient with toxic players, but eventually I just turned off chat completely so that I wouldn't have to deal with it. And then, I think it was a couple years later, I ended up getting a notification that someone in one of my games was reported by someone else and had actions taken against them. And basically told me I should report people more. So of course I thought I turned chat off because you guys wouldn't do anything about the players I report. Like, they did that to themselves, basically. Yeah, same on Roblox. It's infested with psychopaths. I have never played Roblox, but I would not be surprised. If someone in Roblox gets banned, you'll get an email saying thank you for reporting. I mean, that's at least a good way to let people know that the report option actually works. Which I do believe is a good thing, especially since it actually discourages people from being toxic. And it actually working also helps with that, obviously. But if you just don't do anything about it, then they'll stay in the community and other people will see that and, you know, perpetuate the same stuff. Yeah, I think actually having good sportsmanship in games is important and isn't valued nearly as much anymore as it should be, particularly online, but I've also heard some other not so great things about Roblox. I probably shouldn't get into it. Oh, I see. That sounds like it's more likely, reviewed by bots rather than actual people in that case. Because that kind of thing will get past censors. Or filters or whatever. I do need to go restore my moves. Not making terrible time on training. So it's not going as fast as I had hoped. But one of the reasons that I wasn't able to find a better place to train is also that in a couple of the spots that would have been better, I'm delaying my Nuzlocke encounter. So, if I go there to train, then I'd have to take my encounter earlier than I would have liked. But I'm delaying them so that I can try to get Lotad as a surf encounter, since I think Ludicolo is a great potential Pokemon to use against Red. As a Blastoise counter. Of course, having counters to his team is important, considering he's the final boss of the Nuzlocke and actively cheats. Is that gonna be my apex of a Nuzlocke? Wait, yeah, I'm basically playing through all 5 regions. And then battling Red at the end. Which of course means I'm going to need to unlock Mount Silver. Which means completing my Pokédex, which in order to stay within Nuzlocke rules, I would need to just not use the Pokemon I catch and level them up with EXP share or something. Is it gonna be a team with 1 mon per gen? Well, that's not really my plan, especially considering there are only 5 gens in this game. And there's no way I'm gonna be able to beat him with only 5 Pokemon. I mean, maybe I could, but it depends on what order he sends out his Pokemon in. Which, because it's PokeMMO, is not predictable. But I think I'm going to need, the, I have the freedom I can get in building a team for him. I'm just gonna be sad if I make it all the way to red and then wipe and then need to start this Nuzlocke all over again. Especially considering I'm only about halfway through now in... I guess approaching 1.5 years now? I work full-time, I can't spend that much time streaming. Quit my job and stream full-time? See, there's this thing called the monthly existence fee. And if I'm not making enough money from stream to pay my monthly existence fee, then I'm gonna have to get that money from somewhere. If I do you'll gift 1 prime, that's basically like paying my rent. Sure, close enough, I guess. But yeah, I haven't even gotten my first paycheck from Twitch yet, so it's gonna be a long time until I'm able to do that. Welcome, Jonathan. Monthly existence fee? I'm talking about rent, basically. You know, being able to afford a place to live and food to eat. I figure it's a fairly accurate way of putting it. If I own place? Yes. I guess I'm approaching 3 years now living in this apartment. Everyone seems to be taking it for granted. I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. As in taking being an adult in general for granted, or... Okay, how many more of these do I need to knock out before evolving? Make punish. Some people don't deserve to be called adults, is what you mean? And I guess so. Some people do kind of take advantage of their parents, but there are also other things to consider, like some people are basically trapped by their parents, which is a lot more common among disabled people. Or they're just physically not able to work. I personally think adulthood is mainly about finding a way to live that works for you. Which obviously isn't going to look the same for everyone, but sometimes people just aren't able to do that, or have parents that won't let them do that. Personally, you should get your act together. You hate the way you're living. Yeah, it can be difficult to get out of that kind of situation. If you don't have any gosh, how do I put this? I'll be honest, I really don't know how to say what I want to say here. I'm not afraid of offending you, that's done. What I'm getting caught up on? That Amalthea is level 30 now. I get Earth Slash. I'll probably go ahead and get rid of Quick Attack and Agility, because I did get Protect on Evolution. Just say it, you swear you won't cancel me for it. That's not what I'm worried about. I just have trouble figuring out how to say what I want to say sometimes. Yeah, Protect is definitely an important move, especially for Norman. I can go ahead and switch my lead now. I also forget the names of things sometimes. And I do forget that sometimes too, but that's also not really the problem I'm having right now. Basically, it can be hard to find the energy and I guess the willpower to get yourself out of that kind of situation. And even when you start working your way out of it, something can just easily pull you back in. Not sure whether you are familiar with NHK Nyukoso. It's basically well, there's a novel for it, and they made a manga and anime adaptation as well. But I guess I'm mainly talking about the anime here. I have not read the manga. And the original novel is very different. That's basically a good illustration of struggling with mental illness and being stuck in that kind of living situation and headspace. I'll clip it out for you. You can tell yourself it's much easier to stay with your parents even if you're suffering. I mean, that's true. But even the act of living with your parents can be harmful enough to your mental health that makes it difficult. That makes it even harder to pull yourself out of the situation than it would be otherwise. You read a manga about a guy who locked himself when he was 15 since his mother died. I think I has heard of that, but never read it. Is that Welcome to the NHK? That's the one I was talking about before. Now he's 30 and his father... Okay, I'm guessing there's a typo there because I'm having trouble figuring out what you're trying to say. Oh, I see. Father's wife. Like, after his mom died, his dad's new wife. And it sounds interesting. What's the title of that one? The difference in leveling rates between EXP groups is very noticeable. But yeah, I've seen the Welcome to the NHK anime and read the original novel. And as I said, they are very different. I was surprised at how different they were when I read the novel because I had watched the anime first. But I do think they're both very good. Miteru no Kimochi. I completely butchered that pronunciation. And yes, I am fretting up level 9s. That does make this take much longer. Made by the same guy who made Gaunt's. Ugh. I did try watching Gaunt's, but I dropped it after 4 episodes because, yes, it seemed interesting, but I absolutely hated the characters. I don't think I liked a single one. I hated Kurono K too. I'm actually forgetting which one that is. I feel like I, to an extent, blocked a lot of it from my memory. I should read the manga instead because they really dive deep into them. Maybe I should do that because there was another anime I tried watching multiple times but just couldn't get through. But ended up reading the original light novel instead, which I ended up liking a lot. Those kind of shows are rage bait in manga form. Yeah, I have no idea what you mean by that. But again, I haven't actually read it completely or watched it completely, so I guess it would be hard for me to know what you mean in that sense. Does Gaunt's have an original novel, or was it originally a manga? Shows like Gaunt's where everyone just dies all the time and it's glum and hopeless. And I wouldn't say that necessarily. With that description, it just reminds me of a Technolize, which, yes, was possibly the most depressing thing I've ever seen, but I still thought it was really interesting. You've watched Evangelion and understood nothing, but when you read the manga, you really enjoyed it. Yeah, it might just be a difference of medium or a poor adaptation. Both could be true. I guess another example of that kind of thing is I did try reading the webcomic for Omniscient Reader, and I had mixed feelings about it. But when I read the original web novel, I ended up liking it a lot more, and can confidently say that it never should have been adapted to webcomic form. There are subtle differences, but they really make a difference in the flow of the story. Yeah, I can see that. That's probably what I would say about Shinsekai Yori. About why I preferred the novel over the anime. I hate the isekai trope where the main guy is God mode. Yep. Power fantasy is... Do you tend to feel kind of hollow and uninteresting? And that doesn't necessarily apply to isekai or shonen in general. I've read a... Alright, I started reading a shoujo ai manga, and couldn't help but feel like it was written as a power fantasy. And welcome Ramon. Or Raymond. Still not sure how that's supposed to be pronounced. You tried reading the light novel of Fate but didn't know how to read it? I've heard that getting into Fate is difficult just because of how much of it there is, and chronological stuff. But I know nothing about it myself. You'll take both? Alright. Good to know. You've been there before, the shoujo ai, where the heroine faces no real issues, and every bad thing that happens to her exclusively is used to make her look pitiable to the main guy. Yeah, what I'm talking about is, the specific manga this kind of quiet, shy, unpopular girl has a crush on this other really popular girl and is also severely bullied by someone else. But then she ends up in a relationship with the popular girl who she has a crush on. And then when her bully tries to bully her, the popular girl ends up saying some very not nice things to the bully, who then starts crying because she apparently also had a crush on this popular girl. What's the title? I don't remember. I absolutely remember the art style at least. But it just felt very power fantasy-like. Despite being a romance. Hey, I got an Omni boost. That doesn't sound like a power fantasy at all. Not in the same sense as a shonen, but it basically felt like the equivalent. But yeah, I don't remember the name of it, so I'm sorry if you wanted to see it for yourself. Is your name pronounced like the wrestler? I don't know wrestlers. You said power fantasy and romance. That's how you described earlier. Plot contrivances and characters acting like not real humans. Exclusively to make the lead person either look good or justifying their retaliation. And that sounds more like a... almost like a Mary Sue. Where the, character can basically just do no wrong and everything just works out for them. If so, then it's not like pronouncing Raymond, but without D, it's actually like Pokemon. But instead of Poke, it's Raw. Like ramen. Ramon? Ramon doesn't really sound like a name. You think he needs sleep? That may or may not be a good choice. Almost exactly, but a Mary Sue is just a gender description. Maybe? I wouldn't say that the term Mary Sue specifically refers to one gender. Like, you could say Wesley from Star Trek The Next Generation is like a Mary Sue. But anyway, ads are about to play, so I'll be back in a few minutes, and have a good night if you do decide to go sleep. Alright, I'm back. What's the distinct difference between a power fantasy and a Mary Sue in my eyes? I guess the main difference, I think, is a power fantasy is about basically having all the power to do whatever you want, regardless of any opposition, and fundamentally being able to self-insert as someone who is able to do things that they never could do in reality, whereas a Mary Sue is someone who is basically incapable of making any wrong decisions, both in terms of achieving goals and in terms of virtue, like being a good person and never doing anything wrong. Of course, the way I see it isn't necessarily the way other people are going to see it either, so... Of course, the original Mary Sue was, I believe, a self-insert. In a Star Trek fanfiction, I think. Of course, I could be remembering that wrong. Our fantasies don't really play out like that, though. I mean, yeah. A lot of power fantasies do feel like the main character just doesn't face any opposition. They are very much related ideas. But I would not say that Mary Sue is mainly directed at women. Maybe it is more common for women, but I definitely wouldn't say that it's the intent to mainly be women. Other than Kirito, name a character I've heard described as a Mary Sue. Well, I just said one earlier, Wesley from Star Trek. And honestly, I'm not even sure I'd consider Kirito a Mary Sue. I think Kirito more closely fits the definition of a power fantasy. Hang on, did I make a questionable decision here? Shelter and Cloister have the exact same EXP group. They're both in the slow group. Yeah, I was wondering whether I should have waited to evolve so that training wouldn't have taken as long, but it didn't actually make any difference. That is such a slow-moving EXP bar. Is fight stronger enemies? I mean... in the past, when I've tried grinding on a higher level Pokemon without really thinking about it too much, I've ended up losing Pokemon that way. Like how I lost my Slugma trying to train for Radiant Ho-Oh, and losing my Ivysaur. I think I was trying to train for Chuck at that point. At this point, I have loaded up on a lot of HP EVs. I at least want to avoid the routes that I delayed encounters in. Ride a Pokemon, and I probably should be riding my bike right now. We can at least try training here. If I won, it's because I hate you. I don't have the ability to ride a Pokemon right now. What do you want from me? And I could try it. And I think the way other people do it... Can you even buy a Pokemon mount in this game? That would have to be copyright infringement. I'm popping off now. There's only slightly more experience than the other area. You saw someone riding a Luxray? Maybe it is. Maybe you can buy Pokemon mounts in this game. But then it has to get them sued, doesn't it? Or a cease and desist or something? And any chance the manga I was talking about is Tadokuro-san? Hang on, let me look that up. Yes, actually, that is the one I was talking about. I didn't get that far into it because, honestly, I just couldn't take it seriously anymore. What are the chances? I'm surprised you found it this quickly. Is that one you've read before? Or did you just happen to find it? Probably not paid, maybe it's a a setting in the menu? Not that I know of. Oh, maybe it's some way to buy a bicycle skin? Just looked up my description. I see. I didn't realize they described it that well. As far as I know, the only mount skins in this game you don't have to pay for are color changes, but I could be wrong about that. Of course, people do also sell premium items on the GTL. I don't know, there aren't any luxury mounts on the GTL right now. A searched loser, shy schoolgirl in love with popular schoolgirl manga bullying involved. I'm kind of surprised you would find that on the first try with that description. You'd think there's more than one manga like that, but there's so little Yuri and even less of it is updated. Really? And doesn't Yuri refer to more explicit activities than just romance? Like how, like the difference between Shonenai and Yaoi. And the difference between Shoujoi and Yuri. What about Yuri on Ice? Yuri is also just a name. I believe in that case, the main character is just named Yuri. There's also a character in Mario Penguin Drum named Yuri. Is Banana Fish bad? I have not seen it yet. I am interested in seeing it at some point. It is on my radar. At one point I did mention to a friend I was thinking about watching it. And they said it was apparently a classic yaoi anime, which I wasn't even aware of. I do know that it does get good ratings. So from what I know, I would not say that it is bad. But again, I can't see that anyway if I haven't seen it. I'm hesitant to make any kind of value judgment on something I have not experienced for myself. So the best I can say is what I've heard from other people. And will not present that as my own opinion. Yeah, we are not good as good. That is very true. I'm not someone who would refuse to watch over something like that. Yeah, I guess this is going a little faster. You love Goku, by the way. Thought you might share that. I'm honestly not sure how I feel about Goku. I don't think I have any strong opinions. He is a very iconic character, though. You take your thank yous in the form of personal donations. Thank you for telling me to go farm somewhere else. I'm not actually sure how I would give you a personal donation. I think the closest thing to that would be a gifted sub. The thing is, the dynamic between Vegeta and Goku is what made you love Dragon Ball so much. Or Dragon Ball Z specifically. It is an interesting dynamic. But to an extent, I feel like Vegeta was forgiven a bit too easily. You were joking. Yeah, I did get that. Have you not realized by now that even if I know someone is joking, I can't help but respond to it as though it were serious? That's just where my brain goes, and I can't really stop my brain from going there. Like how Vegeta was the strongest in his race, then to be surpassed by low-class warrior, and try doing everything to catch up. Yeah, it's definitely a I guess a good dynamic when someone at the top finally faces defeat in a way. And then, instead of denying it or I guess taking it badly, they just use it as motivation to improve themselves. Even if they don't succeed. Even had a family because he thought that's what made Goku stronger. Is that the reason? I never got that into Dragon Ball, so that's news to me. No, you think that I think you're being serious and responded in a serious manner. I see. I mean, sometimes I don't catch when people are joking, but usually I do catch it and just can't help but respond that way anyway. That's just how my brain works. I should listen to Vegeta's last monologue. Maybe I should get back into reading it at some point. Because that is how I have... not sure the word for it. Experienced Dragon Ball Z in the past is by reading the manga. I was never into the anime or anything. And also, one thing about my sense of humor is that part of it is taking things seriously that have no business being taken seriously. But a shame it has one of the best dubs ever. When you say that it's better than the manga, trying to pace myself drinking water instead of chugging it like I normally do. Not better, but you'd say I would be enjoying more because of the voice actors. And maybe I'd check it out, but I'd probably just prefer the manga anyway. I think it's only in specific cases where I'd recommend the anime over the manga. Like when the manga isn't actually the original. Like with Shinsekai Yori or NHK ni Yokoso. Or in the case of a Parasite, where there is very little difference between them, but I do think the anime is slightly better. Do I read manga and manhwa on my phone at all? Mostly, actually. I have read physical manga as well, but it's just less convenient. When Krillin dies, the Goku scream is top-notch. Wait, which time when Krillin died? Because I'm pretty sure it's been more than once. Yeah, the Parasite anime is way better than the manga. Also the case for Attack on Titan, I'm guessing, is what that is. I don't really know anything about Attack on Titan, other than the fact that the Japanese name apparently literally translates to the Attacking Titan and not Attack on Titan. So I have an Android. I do not have an Android phone. Yeah, the Attack on Titan manga is just bad. I'll keep that in mind if I ever consider watching and or reading it. An Apple slave? I wouldn't consider myself a slave. Especially since I have a very low opinion on Apple computers, just based on my experience with them. Of course, it's your opinion. Well, yeah. But I do value people's opinions in general. A slave has no free will. Tell me, have I ever used a non-Apple phone in the past 7 years? I have. Though, it was not a cell phone. I think it was a landline. That doesn't count. Landlines are phones. But, I mean, the nice thing about going from an Apple phone to another Apple phone is it's just really convenient to transfer all your information. And I originally got an Apple phone because of my parents. Well, Apple smartphone, I should say. An Android is the same way. Well, yeah, I'd imagine transferring from an Android to another Android is also pretty convenient. But if I already have an Apple phone, I'd imagine that would make transferring to an Android harder. Not really, just the passwords? It's like having a computer in your pocket. I guess I'm not sure what I would want on my phone that I can't get on my that I can't get on my phone and can get on my computer. And I feel like just the nature of being a small touch screen rather than having a large screen with a keyboard and mouse makes a lot of what I do on the computer naturally harder on a smartphone. That's a big reason I dislike a lot of mobile games in general, unless they're turn-based or something. I do have PokeMMO on my phone. Just as an example of something that you wouldn't necessarily think you could access on an iPhone. Emulators, VLC player, Hood anime. Well, you can download apps outside the App Store on iPhone as well. Again, that's how I got PokeMMO on it. But I feel like anything that I'd want to emulate on my phone, I can just bring the hardware for anyway. Okay, billionaire. I am very far from being a billionaire. I mean, I have what, a Game Boy and a 2DS? Sorry, Game Boy Advance. That I got as a kid. As holiday gifts from my parents. And they still work. So I never had to buy new ones or anything. But everyone owns 4 3DSs, 4 DSs, GameCube, 2 copies of Gale of Darkness, and Coliseum with Jirachi bonus disc. I don't own all that stuff either. But I do know people who do have that kind of collection, which I think is just excessive. But my point is, you don't really need to have an emulator on your phone if you can just all those things. I don't even own anywhere near half those things. Of the things you listed, the only things I own... Wait, do I even own any of those things? I don't. Because a 2DS isn't even a 3DS, it's basically a cheaper version. I give you vibes of 4 3DS. Yeah, I don't even own one. I got stuck with the 2D version. It's not like you can get a 3D effect by emulating it on your phone either, as far as I'm aware. $2DS is dope though, you want one? Well, it doesn't fold, so it's actually harder to transport. Any manga recommendations? You finally got your summer break and want to spend it to your fullest? Well, I guess my number one recommendation would be Monster if you haven't read that, but I'm guessing you have. I think you have. And it sounds like Cider Man has a manga recommendation. Umineko When They Cry. Let me look that up for a second. I'm out of earthquakes. I should probably get those back. I don't think I've heard of this one actually. Someone in Twitch chat is recommending this. Don't watch the anime. The manga's good. Has $4. I'll definitely look into it. Rita didn't tell you if I did? Alright. Jonathan says thank you. Gosh, what other manga would I recommend? Not sure whether you care about sports manga, but Ping Pong is obviously a classic. One Outs is pretty interesting. I know he is a bit controversial, but I am a fan of Lin Okamoto. Elfin Lied and Koku no Brunhilde is pretty good. Or are pretty good. At least in my opinion. They're not perfect, I will say that much. I can try checking my manga list as a reminder. Damn, let me... pull this up. Yeah, I did also read Tokyo Ghoul, which is of course way better than the anime. Well, one of two manga I'd say were kind of butchered in the anime adaptation. The other being Yoku Koku no Brunhilde. You're already familiar with Urasawa's works. Probably don't want to recommend that one. And it's not inconvenient, you don't have to worry about it. This one's an interesting one. Gakogurashi. Manga reader's face when an anime butchered yet another work. Yeah. Seems like, as I said, it's very rare for a manga to actually, or for an anime to be better. I am kind of starting to lose my voice, sorry. Did I enjoy Tokyo Ghoul Re? Was that a reboot or something? Second part. I'm not sure I ever read that, actually. What happened? Heart attack? No, I was just losing my voice, so I muted and drank water. Good, don't. I'll keep that in mind. There was one specific thing about the manga that wasn't in the anime that I thought just didn't make any sense, but I think that's just being nitpicky. The art style is perfection, but what is going on? Wait, what's going on with what? Oh, right. Yeah, I can't answer that question, because as I said, I didn't read it. One thing I did think was weird was, forgive me, it's been quite a while since I actually read it, but there was this one part where the anti-ghoul police, or whatever they were called, used cool bullet coating from different types. Like, it was some kind of Pokemon type advantage kind of deal. When my understanding of the ghoul type advantage thing was that it was a natural strategic thing and not, you know, elemental. But forgive me for explaining that so poorly. As I said, it's been quite a while since I've actually read it. I do really need to refill my water. I'm 100% right, and you question it yourself. At least I'm not alone. Emma, you actually understood what I was trying to say. I don't know, maybe sometimes I'm just overly critical of how I word things. Which I guess is just another reason to try not to overthink what I'm saying. And it's just Bartholomew and Issa that need to level up now. So the Bartholomew only has contact, so I risk proccing static, but oh well. I just need to hope I don't get paralyzed. I should also probably be saving my sacred swords for Magnemite. Okay, when... Okay. Looks like about 8.5 minutes left until the next ad break. I was checking because I really need to refill my water. Shouldn't be too long from now. And training shouldn't take too much longer either. Issa's already almost level 30, thanks to the gym trainer battles. But I think I need to build up my vocal endurance again, because, I mean, as you can tell, I haven't been streaming as much lately. I just streamed 2 days ago, so... having some trouble with my voice. And I'm also gonna be streaming again tomorrow because I have my Regionlocke tournament matches. Yeah, I am likely to be doing 2 matches tomorrow instead of just 1. Because, well, I'm up against Grief, and the time we scheduled for our next opponents will be Tamer, who will be against the winner, and Katie the Bard, who will be against the loser, are also going to be available, so... or at least it sounded like they're going to be available. I think I have pretty good odds of beating Grief. I mean... in his tournament match with Gerald, it came down to one last struggle with recoil damage that left them at 0-0. And when I did a just for fun match against Gerald because he was eliminated from the tournament, I ended up sweeping his entire team with just 2 Pokemon. So assuming they're pretty even, I think I'm in pretty good shape. But regardless of whether I win or lose my first match, I do have pretty solid plans for whichever opponent I'm against next. Alright, ends are starting here pretty soon, so I'm going to take my break, refill my water, and I will be right back. Alright, I am back. Very little training left to do. Of course, after Flannery, I think. I'm gonna go into the desert. I'm going to need to use repels since I'm delaying the encounter and it's technically Route 111. So I can pick up the fossil. Which I am doing a random fossil again for Hoenn. And I actually forget whether I have access to Mirage Tower. I believe it's its own area, right? And it's where the fossils are. They're not just laying out in the open like auras. Is this an Emerald exclusive thing? And since... Hang on, what are the encounters there? Mirage Tower, a Sandshrew, which is a dupe, and Trapinch, Cacnea, and Beltoy. Looks like the most common encounter there is Cacnea, which... I think is kind of underwhelming. Not really need any more grass types, I don't think. And it doesn't look like I can use repel manipulation effectively here. Since all I would be doing is making Trapinch and Sandshrew less common. I could ensure that I only get Cacnea or Baltoy, but I don't think I want to reduce my odds of getting Trapinch. That seems like kind of a dumb play. I think I'd benefit a lot more from a ground type than a grass type. Especially since I just burned through some ground types. Or at least I lost. Wait, did I only lose one ground type during Ho-Oh? But he did end up leveling up a bunch. So having some lower leveled ones would be good regardless. I'm asking like you know. I can't really expect everyone here to know everything I've done. Especially since my Kanto, or my audience when I was going through Kanto was almost non-existent. Just compared to my audience now. My stream is lagging big time. That's not a good sign. According to OBS, it's working fine. According to my Twitch stream manager, my connection seems to be fine. So either it's a problem with my computer or it's on your end. Is massive lag now? I just refreshed and it's fine. That's good. Hopefully that means it was an issue on your end. So, what I was trying to say was that back when I was playing through Kanto, my audience was virtually non-existent, at least compared to now when I have fairly consistent viewers. As in, I basically only had 2 people. At least in terms of chatters, I only had 2 returning chatters, and one of them only showed up to, I think, 2 streams. And it's called You Interesting. Wait, did I? I don't think I did that. I thought what I was talking about was returning viewers. Or returning chatters. I don't think I want occurring. Now I have interesting viewers. Yeah, I don't think that's exactly what I said. But maybe I misspoke. But anyway, it is time for me to go challenge Flannery, since I'm finished training. And I think my best lead is probably Issa, since he doesn't have any bad matchups into her team at all. You're about to Pog, because it's finally Flannery time. I think for... Gosh, how long has it been since the last major battle? I think it's Maxi. I think it's been like 10 hours of actual gameplay, and the vast majority of it has been grinding. Oh, I am going the right way, aren't I? I have to go up this way every time I want to go to Lava Ridge. I do have to wonder what the consequences of that are for Lava Ridge's economy. I guess so. I'm forgetting the way through the gym. That was the wrong way. An entire team camped out in their mountain. Wait, why did I just go for the exact same way again? What am I doing? That's not it either. I am so washed. And I just went the wrong way again. Have I hit basically every single wrong path? But yeah, I'd imagine Team Magma hanging out in the only way to get to Lava Ridge would be pretty hard on tourism. Let's hope that it's not Torkoal lead, because that would mean dealing with more sunlight, I think. Okay, this is probably the best lead, because I should be able to one-shot this. Sending bad luck my way. There's a redeem for that. But yeah, that's Numal one-shot. In comes Torkoal. Sun gets it. I should just stall out the sun with Protect, shouldn't I? Though it can curse. which would not be ideal. That's the Curse the Run redeem. Inflation makes all the redeems more expensive. I think it's a bad idea to risk setup here, so I'll just go for Waterfall. And there's the curse. Not the move, mind you. Alright, I don't think she's going for curses. So I'll just protect for leftover recovery and stalling at the sun. The question is, if I waterfall again, does that mean she uses a potion? Or should I rock smash first to try to not put the Torkoal in potion range? I mean, it's not a bad thing, I don't think. Is she potions? But I'd rather not risk more body slam paralysis. So I'll go for Rock Smash. There goes the sun. And I take it out with Waterfall. Not sure whether she actually has potions. Okay, this does have Pestro Berry. But sun is gone. And I don't have to worry about it setting up. I'll protect for leftovers recovery. This one's also just going for Body Slam. Let's burn the berry. This should still deal, what, 1.5 times damage? After Pestro and Solid Rock. And then even if she potions, this should one-shot. Which she doesn't. I guess she just doesn't have any. And then the Slugma should be easy enough. Yeah, that was kind of a disappointing fight. Time to start making my way towards Norman, I guess. You mean Ezreal almost lost half its health? I guess so. And that's still pretty sad. But yeah, better than just a complete sweep not taking any damage. Which if I recall correctly is... Okay, more weird animation nonsense, but... Yeah, if I recall correctly, that's basically how Watson went. On the other hand, Magma Admin Tabitha was somehow brutal, which I think was partially due to bad luck, Brent. Alright, let's go back to my... I guess the team I was using before. They're kind of underleveled. Not by a lot, but... I think I put Draven in front. Oh, but... Wait, can I be running into Arena Trap? Maybe I should lead Issa anyway. Looks like I don't need to repel here. I guess we'll see what encounter I get. And it's Cacnea. Oh well. Level 40 Claydol. A level 23 Beltoy, I think, is the highest that it can be. I don't know what moves this has. Looks like Sand Veil is its ability, guaranteed. This area also isn't in vanilla. I think it's in base Emerald, but it's not in Ruby or Sapphire. So it looks like Feint Attack, Assurance, Ingram, and then either Poison Jab or a Grass move. And I guess we'll just switch to Bartholomew. Emerald has a ladder going up. Wait, a ladder? Oh yeah, in the tower. I'm pretty sure, yeah. And I guess I just false swipe this. I'm taking a fair amount of chip damage here from the sandstorm, which isn't ideal, but I'm not in any danger yet. I'm pretty sure. Alright, Cacnea caught without much of any issue. Seeing the sand over such a large screen is admittedly kind of throwing me off. Ignatia. I think that's a good nature for Cacnea. not great IVs, I have to say. Then I think I need to use my bike here. And this thing's arena trap. I was wondering about that. So now I get on my... Oh, I can't get on my bike? Wait, that's not my bike. This is my bike. There we are. Not sure how I messed that one up. Okay, I'm guessing there's an item there. A hidden one. I don't think those cracks would make any sense otherwise. I do need to figure out which fossil I'm taking. You took Lilleep. I mean, I think our Moldo is generally better because of its ability. Alright. I'll just pull up an online coin flip or whatever. Alright, heads I go left, tails I go right. I don't even know which is which. Tails. And it's... Claw Fossil. So that's Anorith. But yeah, the ability... Battle Armor, making you immune to crits, is just so good for consistency. Which is obviously important in a Nuzlocke. I don't think I'm gonna bother with the desert until after I get my encounter for the area, so I don't have to burn through a bunch of repels. I really should be using my bike more. but I'm just gonna go ahead and revive this fossil. And then I have to figure out what team I'm using against Norman. I think having Protect on basically everyone is pretty important so that I can basically ignore slacking. He has a Zangoose in this game. That's interesting. Zangoose with Chopelberry, which I believe is the fighting resist berry. Vigoroth with Silk Scarf. Okay, which one of these is the fossil guy? This guy, okay. Anorith was revived from the claw fossil. I still need to go to the name raider if I want to give it a nickname, don't I? Is it even guaranteed to have battle armor? It does have battle armor. Why they had to make battle armor and shell armor two different abilities is beyond me. But it's not uncommon for them to make different abilities that do exactly the same thing. Alright, I don't actually need to go to the name writer. I can just do it now. Sam. And of course, since it's considered a gift, it's neutral and everything. It does get Protect by level up, but not until level 41, which is unfortunate. And it doesn't even evolve until level 40 anyway. And my level cap is 32. No point in thinking about it right now, I guess. Oh, forgot about Spoink. Oh, and you're here too. There we are. And these can go up here. See, you have protect, you have protect, you have protect. You do not have protect. You do not have protect. So I at least need you. And you. Which leaves me with one slot left. I don't think any of these naturally learn protect before level cap. So, I guess I figure out who I need to round out my team and just teach it protect by TM. Do I even have enough for a protect TM? It's like 1800. Wait, so how much is it at the actual in-game shop? I can get one for 1800 if I need to, but then I'd be broke again. The Zangoose does threaten 4 of my team members. So something for the Zangoose might be good. Vigoroth. Threatens 3, I think. Spinda I'm not too worried about. My noon is Toxic Orb Facade, which is annoying. Only threatens 2 of my Pokemon. And Slacking I don't have to worry about because I have Protect. So it's mainly this Zangoose that's threatening, and maybe Linen. I probably need another normal resist, don't I? I have Voltouchidus, but it is weak to both Thunder Punch and Brick Break, which Zangoose has. I probably shouldn't be using an Anorith in this gym. Athalia is weak to Night Slash. And nothing else I can use resists normal type. Yeah, my options for slot 6 are not looking good. Oh right, I have Heartwind. Honestly, he might be my best option. And that would put me at... a full team of 6. Nothing is super low level. So I shouldn't have to do too much training. Alright, this is probably the team I have to go with. So I guess what I'm going to do... is just a little more training before calling it for today. I will be back tomorrow with more, well, with my cage lock tournament matches. Though that is going to be earlier in the day. So if you're not available at that time, sorry to hear that. May as well close that window, since I'm not going to be getting to Norman today. I think we probably need level 30s for Norman's gym. You're pissed off that I'm streaming it earlier. And fortunately, I can't always stream when everyone's available. Honestly, in an ideal world, I could, but that's just not the case, which is why I think it's important to have all my VODs and stuff available on YouTube, but... Oh, you're entirely available? Nice. Not enough damage? But yeah, I think I'll schedule stream as soon as I can when I'm done here. Of course, after that, I don't know when my next stream is going to be. Either at Thursday or when I am able to schedule my next match. Because assuming I win both of my matches tomorrow, the person who I am going to be against is someone I have trouble scheduling with. Just since our schedules aren't all that compatible. But we'll see how that goes. I'd talk about what strategies I'm planning on using, but this isn't really the place for me to say that, because for all I know, my opponents could be watching this. I am probably just going to call my stream today before ads play again. It is convenient that I am going to be losing to the Pokemon that aren't on my normal team, but were on my Flannery team for Norman. Thanks for sparing you the horrible fate of ads. Yeah, it's not ideal that I need to play them, but that's just the price of using Twitch, I guess. If I knock this out right now, do I fall asleep? I do not. Okay. I keep things simple. You're hopelessly addicted to Yu-Gi-Oh! You stopped playing it for 10 years? As in you took a 10-year-long break? Or it's been 10 years since you stopped playing and you're still feeling the urge to play it? Your friend built you a deck from ages ago and now you're playing in tournaments again? Yeah, that happens. I never played Yu-Gi-Oh! Myself, but I was very into Magic the Gathering. It's messed up that he gave it to you for free, cause now you're back in it. Yeah. Kind of like playing League of Legends. You think you're out of it, and then your friends invite you to play, and you start playing again, and you get sucked in again. you know you shouldn't get back into it again because the amount of time and effort it takes to actually be halfway decent at the game just isn't worth it. Yay's such a miserable card game. Is the new format being unrecognizable a good thing or a bad thing? Because if it made you really angry before, then being completely different might be a good thing. It's a disastrously bad thing because it's even worse. Ooh. I probably shouldn't take agility. Seems like a bad move. And this, as in, learning it here is a bad move, not that it's a bad move in general. It does have its uses. So if that's how you interpreted what I said, that is not what I meant. Wait, I meant to put Sergius in the lane, but that's probably a bad idea because Magma might spawn here. This is not a good place to be training a Skarmory. You're currently interpreting everything I say in the worst possible way. Sounds like my ex. Sorry, I probably shouldn't say that. Cut on to you, time for another ult. I would be very surprised if my ex somehow found my channel. Oh, now it looks like ads are coming soon. I guess it's time to figure out who I want to raid. How long ago is this X? Over 2 years ago at this point, so not exactly recent. Slash raid. Blue Ether? Alright. If you're watching on YouTube and would like to join the raid, feel free to switch over. My next stream is probably... well, I know I'm streaming tomorrow at 2 Alaska time. It's going to be my Regionlocke tournament matches, doing winners quarters against Grief, and then likely another match after that. But as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.